I'm gonna go ahead and reshare the agenda, and again, all we got to do is make sure we revote on all those items, and we should be back on track.
Okay, are we ready?
I
I'm
think we're
ready.
good.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody to our San Diego Riverside School Board meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order at this time, 6:40 p.m. I'll take roll call at this time. Patrick Seguro,
Patrick, I am present.
thank you. Margie Creo,
Present.
thank you. LaDonna Sando, she may join us in a few minutes. Susan Baca,
Present.
thank you. North Bear Fraua, I believe he is doing something else at the moment. And David Toledo, I am present. One, two, three, four. We have four present right now at the moment. So we do have a quorum.
LaDonna just texted me. She's trying to log in right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. She can join us when she gets through. And going down to item 3, opening activities. At this time, we'd like to take a vote on whether to approve the April 9, 2026 agenda.
This is Margie, and I'd like to make a motion to approve the April 9th meeting for tonight.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Thank you, Margie. And thank you, Susan. So we have a motion and seconded. And I'll just go around the room, get everybody's vote for the record. Patrick Seguro, do you
Yes,
approve? Margie Creel, approve?
Yes, I approve.
Susan Baca,
Approve.
David Toledo, I approve. LaDonna, are you in?
Yes, I am.
Do you approve, LaDonna?
Yes, and I,
Thank you. For the record, we have 5 board members present and 5 have approved. And going down to item 3. At this time, we'll take a vote on whether to approve the March 12th, 2026 minutes.
This is Margie, and I didn't see the March 12th meeting minutes, so I'll make a motion to table the March 12th meeting minutes until our next meeting.
Okay. Uh, do we have a board member that can make a motion to table the minutes, March 12th minutes?
Margie just did, and I'll second the
Okay.
motion.
Thank you, LaDonna. And for the record, again, I'll go around the room to get your vote. Patrick Seguro, do you approve to table the minutes?
Yes, sir, I approve.
Okay, Margie approved.
Yes, I
LaDonna
approve.
approved. LaDonna,
Approve, yes.
Susan Baca,
I approve.
and David Toledo, I approve also. Motion has been passed. And item number 4, public comments. Do we have anybody to make a public comment? If so, the person will be limited to 3 minutes for your public comments. Do we have anybody to make a public comment at this time?
Did
If not,
you want me to make the comment now again, or
It's up to you. You can either enter the public comment and make your announcement, or you can wait till the end. I'll leave that up to you.
I mean I can just do it now. Before a couple of you got on, I had announced that I'll be putting in my resignation starting, as of tonight. Um, it was a hard decision, but I just know that I'm not being very effective. So, um, just I've been busy and just can't keep up with everything right now. So that's my announcement.
So
Thank you, Susan.
just to remind the board, we can't make any comments during public comment, but I would really encourage well wishes at the end of our meeting to Susan and our gratitude.
Thank you, Jodan. Thank you for your comment, Susan Baca. This time we'll move down to item number 5, Finance Committee Report. Angie Lerner or Mr. Greg Pinkston?
This is Greg, and I will be happy to present the financial packet this time.
Thanks, Greg.
Alrighty, so I have 2 increase bars for you tonight. One is for our Title IV money that we're getting from the reservation to our discretionary, and the other will be for our operational increase. This first one was on a bar that was previously approved at the last month's meeting. However, a clerical error resulted in that bar being annulled, and there's no way to reverse that with an OBMS. So the resolution with PED was to re-enter that bar under bar number 27. And then for operational, the PED announced and gave an award letter. The final unit value got established after review of membership counts, cost indexes, and other reviews, and we got an increase of $20,000. For our expenditures, we are spending well within our budget for everything except for food service. We are working with the 2 schools that we provide food services for. We sent the invoices and we were communicated to expect payment within April. Otherwise, everything else looks routine and within budget. Same deal with our revenues. We are receiving everything that we are anticipating for the most part, and we'll continue to trend towards that through to the end of the year. Additionally, we have spent less than we have within the last couple of years for the month of March, and that reflects within a lower student count than before. Our investments, first within the teachers and students in the classroom, remain big, and the rest of the school gets robust as investments as well, and that reflects within the things that we purchase, the salaries and benefits, and the usage of our monies across the board. At a liquidity of 2.56, the total cash balance that we have across all of our funds can cover our operating expenses 2.5 times, and this ending cash balance is the largest that we have seen since November 2024. A little out of the ordinary occurred for accounts payable and payroll during the month of March. I will highlight a couple of small reimbursements, our final renewal of Power School until March of next year, our file license for our phone system, and professional development from the staff through Vector Solutions. So that's just a review, and this goes into grand detail. If anyone has any questions about these details, the story that these numbers tell, as always, feel free to set up some time with me, call my phone number, and I'll be happy to speak to it. I know there's a lot of numbers that are in these reports. We review our usage of our budgets at the fund and function level. As we approach the end of the school year, we keep a tight watch and make the adjustments and maintenance as we need. That way we can show PED that we are exercising the best financial stewardship that we can and also operating in the green for all of our funds. Finally, our monthly bank reconciliation ties out to a $0 variance. Not bad. I went through this a bit quickly, so are there any questions or comments about what we've covered within this report?
Thank you, Greg. Do we need to make any action items on your report?
Yes, we need to do the bars, right?
Yes.
I'll do the bars separate from the bank reconciliation. So this is Margie Krill, and I'd like to make a motion to accept the two bars that Greg presented tonight into our account.
Thank you, Margie. Margie has made a motion. Do we have a second
This
from
is
a board
Patrick.
member?
I'll second.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay, I'll go around the room again for the record. Patrick, do you approve?
Yes, sir. I approve.
Margie Creel,
Yes, I approve.
LaDonna Sando, do you approve, LaDonna?
Yes, I approve.
Thank you. Susan Baca, do you approve? Susan Baca. And this is David Toledo. I approve also. So Susan not here, but we have a four that have approved. So that's a quorum, right?
Yes, we
Yes.
have a quorum.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else, Greg?
We have the approval for the bank
Oh, yeah.
reconciliation. And I need to talk about the permanent cash transfer as well. Do we want to knock out the bank reconciliation next?
Okay, this is Margie Krill, and I make a motion to accept your financial report, the bank reconciliation, and the cash disbursements.
Okay, thank you, Margie. Margie has made a motion to approve the bank reconciliation and bank statements at this time. Do we have a motion to approve that?
This is Patrick. I'll second.
Second it, yeah. Again, I'll take a roll call. Patrick, do you approve?
Yes, sir. I approve.
Thank you. Margie Creel,
Yes, I approve.
Donna Sando,
I approve.
thank you. Susan Baca. And this is Dave Toledo. I approve also. So motion has been carried. We have four board members that approved it. Anything else, Greg? Are you done with your presentation?
I'll need to talk about the permanent cash transfer next. It won't take
Okay.
very
Okay, great. Thank you.
So we had impact aid as one of our funds in the previous year, and we need to initiate a permanent cash transfer to our operational fund for $23,206. This came up during the audit where we recognized that we may or may not have received all the money that we have, and per audit requirements, and to help the books look cleaner, it's best to transfer this money on over. It does exist. It's best reflected to exist within our operational fund. So with board approval and with some signatures from Joe Dan and other authorities, this permanent cash transfer can happen.
Greg, this is Margie. Just tell me again. So there is that amount of money that was in the account, but it wasn't transferred properly into our operation fund, so we're gonna do it this way tonight.
We're gonna reflect the monies that originally existed with this fund into our operational fund. Yes.
So it's kind of like a bar, maybe. But,
It may result that way, but
okay.
it's slightly different
So
because
it's a
of,
permanent cash transfer is what it is for this school year, right?
yes.
Okay. All right. I'll make a motion to accept the permanent cash transfer of $23,206 into our operational fund. And this is
Okay,
March.
thank you, Margie. Um, a motion has been made by Margie Creel to accept the $23,206 for a permanent cash transfer. Do we have a board member to second it?
This is Patrick. I'll second.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay, Patrick has seconded the motion that was made by Margie. And then going around the room again for the record. Patrick Seguro, do you approve?
Yes, sir. I approve.
Thank you. Margie Creel,
I approve.
LaDonna Sando,
Yes, I approve.
thank you. Susan Baca and David Toledo, I approve also. So motion has been carried. We have 4 board members that approve the motion. Thank you very much.
And thank you to the board as well. This concludes my presentation of the finance packet.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Angie. Okay, moving down to item number 7, Executive Director, Principals Report.
We still have one David up there on item 6, which is 6E, a possible action on approval of the right-of-way agreement.
Oh,
And I'll present that.
okay.
So well, already last year we were approached by Mr. William Davis about getting an agreement signed for access to his property. This is the right-of-way agreement. I want to share this other. Let me see if I can pull this up and share this really quickly. So the realty office reached out to me asking if we would sign this or make a decision. And I know we corresponded. I think it was just me, David, and Margie on this. But here's the map. The front building here is our cafeteria and John Toya's art classroom. And then you can see our parking lot. He wants the right of access to be where that yellow line is to be a right of way to be where that yellow line travels. I did let them know that that was straight through our parking lot. However, the email that she sent to me, and I want to bring this up so that I'm being transparent with the board. It was interesting because, and I don't know that we need to spend too much time on this. I think we just make a decision on it. Let me share this email with you really quickly so that you can see what our correspondence looked like. So, we got this email from Ashley Sionia. She said, I'm emailing in regards to a right-of-way agreement that we had submitted for approval from SDRCS. This right-of-way agreement is for William Davis. From what I recall, I believe you wanted to talk to the board about whether or not you could sign off on the right-of-way agreement. I am not too sure where we left off, but the realty department would like to get this completed. Look forward to working with you and getting this completed. And my response was, I sent this out to you, David and Margie, and we kind of went back a little bit and just kind of talking about where we needed to land on this. And so I sent this back to Ashley. And I said, look, below the responses from our board chair and vice chair, essentially there are still a few concerns and requests before the board can make a decision on this concern. The requested right-of-way currently cuts through the school's parking lot. This is a concern for students and staff safety. The second concern was staff and community member parking where there could be obstruction to the right-of-way, and it says the right-of-way could be blocked. And then I requested that they have a map that outlines the area, which they did do for us, and I told them we'd bring it to tonight's meeting. The response was interesting though because it says, and this was from Danielle. She says, I have included a visual map of the right-of-way easement. If there are changes to be made, please let us know, as this is a mutual agreement between SDRCS and Mr. Davis, so adjustments can be made to the agreement before signing. Also note on the map where the outlined red zone is a buzz zone, so it is not parking area per our documents. So let me go back to this map. This is what I didn't care much for within the I don't want to say care much for. This is what I didn't understand about the map and the response on this. Um if you there's a couple things that we need to take into consideration. Even though this is bus parking, the immersion school teachers park right at the front part of this red box, which does essentially obstruct the access area. And I know David went out and surveyed it with me. So I just want to make sure the board has all the information. So there is parking there. One of our employees parks there sometimes, but it's the immersion school that actually parks right in this area. So they're right at the tip point of that red box. The bus, even though it's bus parking, the bus is only parked there for a short amount of time in the morning for drop off and a short amount of time in the afternoon for pickup. But the bigger concern is when we talked about, and David, when we went and talked with Danielle um, about our lease agreement and our concerns, they informed us that we would be able to expand when they knock these buildings down, that if we chose to do this within our agreement, we could extend this into parking space because we had always had an issue with parking for events. And so it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mr. Davis, I didn't notice this because I didn't know that this was all of our property here. Mr. Davis has already gone in there and created a gate, as David pointed out when we surveyed this. I just find it really interesting that he wants his right of way that cuts straight through a school parking lot when he can easily go to the residents that are off to the south.
Left. Yeah.
Yeah, down to the bottom and off to the left on this map and down to the bottom of this map and gain access. The only option that we could viably give him within the changes is when they knock these buildings down to utilize, we'd have to find a way for him to use a back road or to come through the backside of this parking lot and go around the backside. Now, you all know the area. You know these folks better than I do. That's why I'm bringing this to the board. I don't think you have to approve the right of way. I think you just have to approve on whether you would allow me to sign this or to have further discussions. Um, I think, you look at it one of two ways. We can either drag this on and get more information, or you just say this isn't what's best for the school and we don't give you authority to sign off on this.
Is it?
Jordan?
Go
Yes,
ahead.
Ladonna.
Okay, so I know for a fact that the neighbors like that live, you know, close by the school,
Uh-huh.
those are my cousins, and I know that for sure he didn't let him come in through any other way through their property. And the other guy on the south side, he didn't give him approval either. So I know for a fact that both of those two people didn't approve him for any entrances on either side. And
Okay.
his only option was us, but is there any way that we could talk to the governors about it again? And because his better option is over on the south side of the, like his entrance would be better over there. only
Mhm.
because this is a school, and there's gonna be students around. I know after we like have the buildings removed, still, there's parking right in the center
Yeah.
also. So I don't know if so
I'm with you.
we don't have to agree with anything. We all we could say is we don't want to.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and just another concern that I didn't put on there that I didn't think of until, this week. I don't even know that our insurance would permit
No.
this because
Yeah.
it cuts straight through our parking lot on our lease. And if they found out that are allowing somebody the right of way access that cuts straight through a school, I think that's a big
Mhm.
liability for
Yep.
our.
Right. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
This is Margie, and I agree. When they talked about right away, I honestly, they made it sound like it was a little gate, like you said, that he was going to put at the entrance, like on the south side of the convent.
Mhm.
And do you have a right of way for him to put a gate there on the south side of the convent? That is personally what I got out of it. I had in no way, shape, or form saw anything that he comes all the way through our school parking lot, up toward the school cafeteria, then back south. There is no way that we can agree to this. No way. And if you give someone, like you said, a right of way, that gives them, their friends, whoever visit them, their relatives who visit them, to use that route. And we don't know, because when we're at a school, we can't have certain issues, like we can't have sex offenders in so many feet of our school. We can't have this or that, so many feet of our school. So right there, just looking at this, the answer is no to me, in
Mhm.
my opinion. Okay. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, and Margie, I'm glad you're bringing that up. The other thing, and I'm sure you guys are aware of this, it's been apparent he's been driving through there without even our permission. Yeah, there's a road that's leading straight through there. You can see where the tire ruts are going straight to his gate. So even before asking for permission, he's been accessing his property without permission, which I don't care much for. I don't think that's appropriate for him to do. Would it be, let me ask the board this, would it be appropriate, like you said, to just go ahead and establish a meeting with the governors and the realty office and Mr. Davis so we can all have a discussion on this? And what I'll do in the meantime is also just reach out so that we have the right information on our insurance for the liability. Because like here's the way I'm thinking too. If he's using that parking lot and something happens in that parking lot, he turns his car over or they get into a fight into our pocket, we're liable for that because it's on our property.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
David, yeah.
David.
So that I
Yes, sir.
I agree with Margie Creel and also LaDonna and you too, Jodan. Uh, my concern is once let's say we approve the right of way and we're never going to see that land again. They're going
Mhm.
to take it all like it's their very own personal
Yeah.
land, and that's a big piece of land. And we saw there's a steel gate already over there, and he doesn't even have permission. He put a big steel gate, and there's a road that's already leading to that property.
Mhm.
And Mr.
I,
Davis is a grandson to the grandpa that used to own that land. And there was never a house. It was always used for agriculture.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know what his plans are. I think he might be moving in a trailer or something. But
Mhm.
I think it needs more discussion, and we need to kind of put our foot down and say no at this point.
So yeah, no, I hate to lock the guy out of his property, but I just don't feel that it's appropriate to use us as the access point. Let's just
No.
make it simple, right?
This is Margie again. I just want to say too, when we have a meeting, I believe that first we need to have a meeting with the governors and the realty office first. We
Yeah.
need to establish some time, because we cannot allow him into a meeting. It's going to go back and forth and all directions, arguments. What you
Yeah,
say is we cannot allow governors, realty, we cannot allow this person to access, full access across our parking lot near our school, any time of the day or night. If we give them right away, it's 24/7. So we cannot allow that. Do you have any other options we can go by so that you can suggest it to him? And then if the governors give us some kind of options, then we'll meet with him and say, we can't allow you to come to our schools right away. Here's your other options that the governors had thought would be best. And
Yeah.
that's the way to approach it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Other,
agree.
I agree.
So I
And I
think on this, maybe the easiest thing to do is just say that you want to vote to table this pending a meeting with, governor's office,
and the
realty
realty
office.
office, right? And
Yeah.
the thing about it is, he did ask last April. So yes, it's been a year. And he called me personally, and I said we'd look into it and we would call. And TJ was always busy. I never got to meet with him, and we were supposed to talk about it a year ago, May. So coming up like 11 months now, and we never got to talk about it. And he never called again. Realty never called again. And I didn't know what happened to it. And it kind of got let go by the side. So you're right. He just took it upon himself, since he never got an answer from us, to do what he did. So that's not right either. So
Exactly. And I think the governors and the realty office should be aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say table it. It might be just an item that we table until we finally meet with them, and then we can just say, we can take that off. Or you can just say that we're going to scratch this off the agenda. Technically, you can just say that there is a no vote on this and we don't want this on the agenda. This doesn't need to be on the agenda next time, that we'll just take care of this externally. It's up to you all.
It sounds like realty is kind of supporting him, William Davis, to use that as a right of way without our approval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Dave, you're right, because I already talked to someone about it, and you're right. Because one of the um governors was saying that all we ever need to do is just sign the papers. And I was like, well, why why do those other two neighbors have the right? I mean, that's their property too. They've already said no to him, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
our property's over here too. So we have every right to say no too. Also,
Precisely.
I think so too. And I think we have more right to say no because of the exact fact that we've already mentioned about the insurance, about the kids, about the
Yes.
access. I mean, if kids are playing in the parking lot for some reason and he comes barreling through there with the truck and a trailer or something, then he could hit a kid or whatever. What does that do to us and our community if that happens? So we don't want to have that on us. We don't
Yes.
want to have that kind of leeway. No, I had a right of way in my property in Ponderosa, and it's a big deal, you guys. This is a big deal. I mean, and you can't you once you sign off on it, it's pretty much set in stone. You can't really get out of it. So
Yeah.
this is something that really needs to be considered. And I would agree to make a motion to take it off the agenda, table it, but handle it externally. I
Yeah.
would,
How about
because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, why don't we just say that you I mean, technically you can just say that you can make the motion to be inconclusive and to determine this fate outside with the consultation, however you want to state it, it's up to you all.
Yeah. And another thing too, there's a right there by the nuns convent. There's a sewer system right there,
Mm-hmm.
right where he's driving right now. It's right probably like 2 or 3 feet away.
That's a good point. Yep.
All of our septic goes into that area right there. And sometimes we've had to call plumbers to get it, unclogged and everything.
Yeah.
I
Not in
have
the
an
recent,
update for you on
yeah.
that in my
Yeah.
my report.
So
Say
there you
some.
go. I don't want anybody running over our sewer tank or our
If you
septic
want to,
tank.
you can just say we vote to not approve, and we'll further discuss it with Realty and the governors.
Yes.
Yes, I think we
yes,
should. I think let's just vote on it right now, and then if we have to get into it later. But there is no way I could agree any part of that map that I just saw. No way.
Same here. He's cutting through our parking lot too, right there in the corner.
And even though those buildings get torn down, it still would be his right of way and all that after that. If we decide to that we want to expand our school, what if we want to put a gym there? Then we have to go ask him for permission because he's got the right of way. See,
Yeah.
there is
Yeah,
no way, you guys, no way. Because
no.
if we by chance somehow get the money and we could build something over there where the junior high building was, like a small gymnasium or something, it's right in the middle of his right of way. So I'd make a motion to vote on this right of way situation with William Davis, and I would vote no based on all the information that we received tonight from Realty Office. And that's my motion. This is Margie.
So the vote would be to not approve.
I vote
Yes.
no, not to approve this.
I'll
This
second.
is Patrick, and I second that.
Oh,
Okay. Motion has been made by Margie to not approve the right of way that has been requested, and seconded by Mr. Seguro and Susan. So let me go around the room again, make it official. Patrick, do you approve?
Uh, yes, I approve the disapproval. Or how do you? I'm not really sure what to say there.
Yeah, do you approve to stop it, I guess? So,
Yes, I approve to not allow it.
yes, okay. Margie Creel,
Yes, I agree to not allow the right of way. Yes.
thank you. La Donna Sando,
I approve not to allow it also.
thank you. Susan Baca,
yes, I agree not to allow.
okay, thank you very much. And this is David Toledo. I approve it not to allow. So we have five board members that say no, not to approve the right of way at this point. For the record,
Right.
is that good, Joe Dan?
Yeah, we can agree to disagree to approve the disapproval.
Exactly it.
Yes.
True.
I love it. All right, yeah, we're good, and I'm got my report ready when you want to move on to that item.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Moving on to Mr. Joe Dan's report at this point.
All right, so I will try to be. This is actually one of the lengthiest ones, but a lot of this is repeat, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. Gonna run through. We're still doing student of the month. We were a little bit backlogged on the last 2 months, so we're playing catch up for the month of February and March. But we've recognized those kids, and certificates should be handed out hopefully by tomorrow. Basketball is concluded. We're proud of our athletes. They did a had a great season, and we're improving. I'm hoping that we can do more sports next school year. We tried to have a track team. We just couldn't get enough kiddos, and there was only one track meet. And from what I understand, it was the same weekend as our last basketball tournament. There are some kids that are participating in baseball with Walatoa Charter High School as well as with some league play. And I understand we also had some runners that were given the opportunity to do some league running as well. So once we hear back from those kiddos at some of the meets that they go to, we'll highlight them as well. Enrollment and staffing. This one's going to be a big one. From here on out, we're still needing our enrollment. I think it's go time to start recruiting our kiddos and going door to door. I'm thinking mid to late this month into the early part of May. Do we need more students? The big news that's coming out from this week is Miss Pecos has officially resigned from her position effective
Uh,
tomorrow.
oh, wow.
She is struggling with some severe health issues. We're very, very grateful for the service that she's provided our school for many years. She's a true champion of kids in New Mexico, and we want to recognize her. She already told me she doesn't want any recognition, she doesn't want any party, and I said, okay, and you're telling that to a party liaison. That's what I do. I throw parties. So I would like to just let everybody know we want to recognize Miss Pecos. at our picnic, but I'd really like to do something in May, late May, early June for an official retirement party for Miss Pecos because she really has done a lot for us. With that said, this is going to be added to the new titles for me for this year, along with the fourth and fifth grade math teacher that I'm gonna now take on the special education caseloads as the director for the rest of the school year,
Oh, no.
which will help save the school money. There's no compensation on that. I'm the only one with the license in special education. Everything paperwork wise has been done. And then I still have the contract out for MLSS and for other services with Dr. Pena's group, JMP. So I feel like I have enough capacity to get the rest of this stuff done. I'm just going to have to get creative on how I can make myself available a few times more out of the week, as well as utilizing our EAs, which are considered service providers. And so once I get a little bit more time, because this came up on Monday, I finally met with Miss Pecos today. It is official. She did hand in her letter today. So I'll be putting in a little bit of overtime on the weekend to try to figure out what a schedule would look like for coverage for her. The following positions are going to be posted starting next week. Oh, I'm sorry, Margie, do you have a question on that?
Yeah, is there a lot of caseload? Did she have a lot of students?
No, we only had four because we had three disenroll earlier in the year.
Okay.
And the rest of the kiddos that are being identified won't be identified until next school year. We're
Next year.
just going through the SAP process. So I feel confident that this is pretty manageable. I did get a quote from JMP, but to finish off the year, I was already kind of planning ahead because I just could anticipate that I was really concerned about her health, and of course I have to look at the viability of the school. Back in February, they gave me a quote for $16,500 to finish off the school year, and I don't feel like
Ooh.
that's necessary. I'd rather save the money that we would pay them as well as the salary that we would be paying Miss Pecos out for the rest of the year. I think this is manageable, and yeah, it's two months, so we can make it happen.
Thank you for taking on that load.
Sure, sure, sure. It's what's best for kids. Everything that we do is at the center of kids have to be at the center of it. And like I tell our kids and our staff, we don't do what's easy, we do what's right. And doing what's right is hard sometimes, but we just got to pick ourselves up. So I'm gonna be stretched a little thin. I'm sure when you see me in May's meeting, I might have most of my hair pulled out by then, but but I'll keep my sense of humor, okay? The following positions are going to be posted immediately. We're going to post for a K first grade. This is nothing against Miss Norma. We love Miss Norma. She's fantastic. But Miss Norma is not a licensed teacher, and we need to start loading up for next school year and trying to hire as many leveled educators as possible. Now, in the event that we don't have any applicants or any applicants that we feel are viable, then I will always still have that option to bring in a long-term sub. But the state, especially going in for a recharter year, this isn't something we really want to mess with. We want to be able to show up in October of this next school year, which is in a few months, and we want to be able to say that every one of our teachers are licensed educators, whether they're level one, level two, or level three, depending on what we can afford. So K first will be posted, fourth and fifth grade will be posted, special education director and teacher will be posted. We may be posting for middle school science and math just so that we can see what we get and start an applicant pool. And we also may be looking for middle school language arts, history slash social studies. These will not be just one and dones. Most of these teachers will have to take on more than one class outside of that main class with math and science. Hopefully, I can bunch those together. I've got some plans. I'll be reaching out to some of my network to see if they're available to come to our school because they're level ones and we can afford them. If not, then we're going to have to get creative and build our relationships back with Walatoa. But luckily, I'm here to oversee those contracts and making sure that
Yeah.
they're not writing contracts that are not
No,
what they were when I got there.
we'll
Because that
find
was a bit of
somebody.
a,
Let's just
well, it
focus on
depends.
finding somebody.
It all
Yes.
it all depends on the budget too. And so
Yeah.
once we look at that, I would love to hire full time, but it might only be a point one or a point two that we can afford. But I'll be meeting with Arrow so that we can look at his strategic plan and we can look at our strategic plan. The PEC did make it clear that they want to see us collaborating. So we want to make sure going into this recharter that we are making it clear that we are collaborating and we are working together. We're all part of the charter network. We're both state charters, and they could come, just to throw this out there. This is part of what we've talked about. They could come in October and say we want to grant both of your schools stay open under the condition that, worst case scenario, that we find a way to merge. We have to have every plan in roll, and we just got to show them that we're serious. And a lot of it, I think the number one thing that they're going to look at when they make that decision is going to be enrollment on both parts. It's not one or the other, it's going to be both parts. So we're a few months out, but I just want to make sure that the board has that information. Uh, Granting and funding. I wrote the CLSD grant. This was a very highly competitive grant that was open to all schools across the state, and I'm happy to say that we have received this grant, which will allow us to hire a literacy coach and coordinator. Because we're so small, they're going to do a point 0.5 literacy coach for us and a point 0.5 literacy director for us, and we will be looking to see who's going to apply for this. I think we already have the person internally, because they're going to be paying the salary of a level 2 to a level 3, which is the requirements. And this will go on for a 3 to 5 year span since we're already awarded. So this is not just for next school year. This is going to be for the next 3 to 5 years, pending the public education's department's funding for this. But this is huge because not every school was awarded this. It was highly competitive. It was so competitive they had to take 2 extra weeks to review applications.
Wow.
But I do have, like, I just want to show you the information on how the funding is going to somewhat look. They have to make some addendums to some stuff because they kind of jumped the gun. But this is the salary range for the literacy coach. If I was able to hire a full time, it'd be about 85,000 at a level 3, and then the coordinator would be at a 96,000. So what I'm anticipating is it'd be the average of these, which is somewhere around $90,000 to do halftime literacy coach and halftime literacy coordinator for us. But this is big because this is bringing something that's much needed to our school. All right, let me get back to sharing my other screen.
You think that people internally are going to apply for that?
Yes, and I'll just be honest. I have one staff member who's already almost making what an admin makes. So to move her off of this and find somebody else to fill her position at a level 1 or even a level 2 will be cheaper for us in the long run.
Mm.
So it's a numbers game at that point. But, I'm also not neglecting by any means the fact that we need the right people for the right jobs. So, I'm finding the balance on finding the right people with the right jobs, as well as the affordability, right? It's like car shopping. We got to live within our means, but I also don't want to settle for that jalopy that's got the doors falling off the hinges and the wheels are flat. We got to find a balance on that.
The Ford Pinto.
Yeah, we don't want the Fort Bento. Even though I like the Fort Bento, we don't want one. We were awarded the National Park Trust. We posted that. That was $1,000 that brought us to our field trip. We're planning on going to the Pecos National Historical Park on April 29th. So I've already put in for a request for the Pueblo to lend us their bus on that day, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. We got the Indian Education Competitive Grant, and this is where I may need some board members' help. This is supposed to sustain a salary for 1 to 1.5, how would I say, a full-time and a part-time person who can finish off this school year with us. And this is open immediately pending their background check and fingerprinting. Um, I can talk about compensation with you guys in a meeting next week. It's going to be compensated pretty well, but I need somebody who can at least come in full time as an educator support. They need to either have a teaching license or have the language and culture license, and we can hire them immediately. And we need to hire them immediately. So if you have somebody, just t text me, call me, schedule something with me between now and tomorrow, and let's bring those folks in because I want to make sure I'm showing the Indian Education Department that we are first off really, grateful for the award, but that we're spending it down the way we need to.
So this grant will needs to start for between right now and end of May,
Right now, all the way to June 4th.
June 4th. Okay.
Yeah, June 5th. Sorry, June 5th. Maintenance
Excuse
of
me,
effort.
Jordan. Excuse me.
Yes, Ladonna.
So the one you just mentioned now with the Indian Education Fund,
Uh-huh.
what were their duties for that one?
So the duties that I wrote for this, one of them is supposed to help support more art in the classroom, and the other one's going to help support more of the language. And so when I wrote this, give me a second, I can get into the, I'll share with you what I wrote for that. I'm sorry, I have a million and one windows here. Let me
Okay.
move this. I'll pull that up right now for you. So, Indian education, competitive grant, here we are. Let me find the one that I want to share with you all. Okay, that's not. I have like, okay, this might have been the final approval. They gave me one that had a final approval, but it was wrong. Okay, here. I think it's this one. Let me, okay. I'm gonna open this one because it's more thorough.
Who
Okay.
awarded this grant? Like, where
Uh,
was it from? It wasn't from the Education Department of Hamas, was it?
no,
Or
no,
was
this is Indian Education Department of Education,
Education of
PEDs.
New Mexico? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
this is PED. And so this grant, let's see here. When I wrote this, we have to have certain outcomes, but let me get into the section of this application that. So I wrote it for we got awarded $84,000 to hire a full-time TOA language and art program for students second through eighth grade and a part-time TOA language and art program for K first. Basically they just be in there helping those teachers as much as they can, and traveling around with them through the day. And so they'd be doing this includes necessary one-on-one school tutoring, support to develop effective learning strategies, time management skills, goal setting practices, and habits that promote academic and personal success.
That's
So
a
that,
great position.
it's an extremely good position, and
It
Yeah.
sure is.
we can pay them pretty well. There's no guarantee, obviously, that they would have employment going into next school year, but it's if I can figure this out with Greg and Angie, the minute they start, we can pay somebody that full time and that part time. I can hire somebody and pay them pretty handsomely
Yeah.
Do
to
they
try to
have to have
expend the grant.
a teacher license and or a TOA language license?
Yeah, and then
One
if you
or the
notice,
other or both, right?
one or the other or both. I mean, both would be great, but that's going to be hard pressed to find somebody. And I talked about, I know this sounds bad. I talked about letting go of one of our employees and then hiring back under this. But then the thing is I'd have to find another person to fill that position. So it doesn't do well, but I'm not guaranteeing that this person's going to get or these people are going to get this full amount, but my goal would be to work with the business office to try to expend this as much as possible. So 24,000 of that is going to be set aside for medical, dental, vision, basic life, and then if you cut that at a 1.5, half of that's 30,000. So one person is looking to probably make 45,000 if I can get it right, and the other person another 15,000 by the end of that school year, that part-time person.
Wow.
Of course, that's before taxes. So if you have some ideas, let me know, contact me, send me an email. If you know some folks that have those credentials, tell them to stop by the school. I need to get this going as quickly as possible, and that's where I need some help with in that area. Um, let's see here. Let me get back to my report. And sorry about that. So that's on there. We've got our maintenance of effort. You guys knew about that. That was some money we didn't think we were going to get, but that's for special education. I applied for the Food Security Bridge Fund. We're still waiting to hear back from that. I finished our BMEP application. That's to give us funding for our language course that we offer. We usually get that every year. We're just waiting for the final approval on that. I got our Fine Arts Education Act in, which helps us to sustain some of the salary for John on this, and we will probably get that awarded as well. We're just waiting for our award letter. I applied for something new for us. It's the New Mexico Grown. It's a food application to purchase beef, poultry, and other vegetables from locally sourced New Mexico grown farmers and ranchers. It might not be a whole lot, it might be a few $1,000s, but our kids will have access to grass fed beef if that's available and free range chicken, the best of the best. That will help us out. And I've already been in contact with a person who I know really well out in Tierra Maria who runs C4 Ranch and farms. They run grass fed beef and this was something I was trying to bring to Turquoise Trail, and they fought me on this for some reason. But we also have the availability to buy produce from Cheese Plus Farms, who we're building a relationship with here in the South Valley, and there's also a couple of co-ops that we can choose from.
There's also people in the valley that sell eggs too,
Yeah,
so.
they have to be a vendor through the New Mexico Grown program.
Oh, I get it. Uh-huh.
So they and if they're interested, there's information up there. They just have to go through that, and I don't know what that process is. That'd be on their end. I also went ahead and applied for the fresh fruits and vegetable program. This will bring kindergarten through sixth grade fruits and vegetables to the day for healthy snacks instead of sweets and sugary and salty items. Then they'll have access to fresh fruits and vegetables through the day outside of breakfast and lunch. I'm sure we're going to get that. They said we will. I'm just waiting to hear back on what the allocation is going to be for that. Um, Art class. My car is loaded with paint. I stopped by Home Depot on the way back. This is our out of school after school program. John's gonna lead our after school program to do a mural in the front of the school. We're really excited. This has been a long time coming, and tomorrow I get to deliver almost $600 in paint and supplies to his art class to really make San Diego Riverside stand out. So get ready. It's going to be incredible, and I'm really, really excited for John, and I'm really, really excited for the kids and the community to see what we're really, truly made of. As an artist myself, I'm jealous. This is something I've always wanted to do. I've been a part of a smaller mural back in the day, but this is something that's going to be on our school, and it's just going to showcase our pride. And I'm really excited to see the final result and share this with our community. Um, yeah, any questions up to this point?
That's cool. Are we gonna, for recruitment, are we going to get those flyers again like we talked about at the beginning of the school year?
Those are
Are
ready
we,
to go. David, when you give me the green
I want
light
to
to meet
see.
with your sister, I think they're ready to be put on the cards.
Okay,
I
just,
think we need to do
well,
that. I have, all the information that she said to fill out and all that too, that she sent at the beginning of the year to me. Yeah.
Maybe we can just jump on the phone next Monday and try to put all that in. I know she was looking to to us pretty cheap, and then I did want to talk to her about possibly getting some mailers out to Zia Pueblo as well as San Isidro.
It goes through to all the mailboxes in the valley.
Oh,
So it could go to Hema
perfect.
Springs and everywhere. Yeah. Pond River.
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, let's jump on that. There's still the Teach Plus opportunity, or sorry, the Teach New Mexico opportunity for those folks that want to go in and get licensed. There's the CNM Indigenous Teachers Preparation Program. This is what I currently have Norma working on to see if we can get her qualified for this program. But if you have any questions on those, let me know. April family event, the week of the 20th to the 24th, we're looking at doing a family reading night or a family literacy night, I should say. And we're going to have complete with storytellers out there. And I'm really excited to be able to showcase some of the new things that we're doing at our school. This will be a great opportunity for recruitment, and we may actually do a couple of live podcasts on that night to capture those stories. So we're looking to make something really really neat for our kids and their families and the community. Our equity council has officially been established. I'm filling out all the information right now. I can give you a glimpse. I'm the lead, even though I shouldn't be. But I also put down LaDonna since you showed up at the first meeting. I put you on there. I have Tiana on here. I've got to add a couple more, but I've actually went ahead and done all the readiness assessment just so you can see what these look like. This takes a extremely long amount of time to go through. That's just the first question. The second question looks like this. The third question, you can see where this is going, right? Third question looks like this. Uh, and now I've moved on to stage one of our CLR. So there's four stages, and I have to fill all these out completely for each stage. I am just starting on this, but this was something the school has been out of compliance with for many years, and now we're back to getting all this. So I have to get this done before the end of the school year. I had a meeting with our liaison, and she said that I have apparently done more in the last week over Easter break than most schools have done in 2 years.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. And
So
you had to
yeah, I had
go
no
at
idea. I know this is a daunting task. I get it. I understand it. I respect it, but it is another thing to do. And but I'm glad that I can report back to Charter School Division and PEC that we're back in compliance with our equity council. And we'll have to have monthly meetings, which we have kind of been doing. I've met with Tiana. They're having a PTA and an equity council meeting tonight. But as long as we can show an effort that we're trying our best to get this complete, they said they'll give us the check mark on this. So, and we don't want just a check mark. I don't want to say that lightly. I want this to be completed and done the right way. So I'm trying my best to get that done. Um, a couple of announcements here, events that are coming up. We have the Government to Government Indian Education Summit. That's going to be May the 5th. It's at the Tamiya Resort and Spa. I registered for this. I will send it out to board members, but board members are also invited to attend. We just have to make sure that if board members are attending, we have to mark that down and notify a quorum, and we have to follow the 72 hours notice. So I'll send that information out to y'all tomorrow morning. And if you do want to go, just mark yes, and that you're registering. And if we get four people, then we'll just say, hey, there's a possible quorum. No business will be done, and no action will be taken. Let's see here. We have the Indigenous Education Symposium. That's going to be in Albuquerque, July 14th to the 16th. It's $500 per person, but it's in our best interest to at least send me and or somebody else for representation, because these are the folks that we're going to be working very closely with moving forward over the next few years. There's also a fellowship that I didn't put on here. The fellowship is quite costly. I'm going to work with Angie and Greg to see if we can afford it, but I think we need to put myself, because it's a fellowship for a leader and a staff member. I think it'd be important to go through this fellowship and grow with the NACA inspired schools. And that means that we'd have access to certain curriculum for our native population and support from the best of the best in the state. So there are some scholarships. I'm working with them right now to see what I need to do. It's very costly, but I think it's worth it if we can afford it. And so I'll keep you guys informed on what that looks like. And I should probably have more information at the next board meeting about that fellowship. But for right now, I am going to talk to Angie about sending myself and maybe one other teacher to the symposium in July. One thing I am going to ask of the board, and I'd like to make this a consideration as quickly as possible. The National Charter School Conference is going to be in New Orleans, June 24th through the 26th. Um,
Yes.
it's okay. Thank you, Margie. I appreciate the support.
Unpacked
It
already.
Yes.
it
Yes. We're
it
going.
it's $645 per person, but that does not include the flight, the room, and some meals. Some meals are covered. I'm gonna get the total cost expenses. I'm kind of going through and seeing how much it would cost for a hotel and for the flights. but this is kind of like the mid bird special. I overlooked it, and the early bird special would have saved us about $70 or so. So yeah, I would just like some support from the board to make sure that you can send me. I've never gone to a national school
I
conference
think we
other.
need to go. Yes.
Yeah, and I think it'd be great representation for us, and I would be willing to bet that PCS&M and charter school division would probably appreciate me attending and coming back and giving a report on their behalf.
Well, it's also nice because everybody has to remember that we're coming up on our charter renewal and we're going for the 5-year charter renewal, and as much
Yeah.
information that we can get out of these conferences to take with us into the renewal is best. But the thing is that you have to take like 3 board members with you, so it won't no.
Yeah, that's so I don't want this to be a strain on the budget. That's why I will talk with Angie and Greg next week to see um is it worth yes, it's worth the investment, but can we afford that? I'm thinking just ballpark on what is looking at by the time I get the rooms for those days and the flights with the registration, it's probably going to come out to somewhere between 14 and $1,600
I can get you the rooms for cheaper.
per person.
Yeah. And just a quick note for the board. Anything above $350 per night will require board approval for a hotel room for Jodan.
No, he's not spending that much per night.
I was gonna say I'm not staying at the Ritz. Greg, I'll be in a sleeping bag on Bourbon Street.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's
You
in
know how
French
I roll.
Quarter, yeah.
So I'll keep you all posted, and like I said, I'll work with them to make sure. And look, it would be great if we do have enough. I'd love for a board member to attend or a staff member because those options are there. But let me just make sure that we can at least get one person there, and there is some money for professional development.
Well, the
Uh,
board has money for that too, yeah.
And so let me just see what Angie says and Greg, and Greg, we can meet next week if that's okay to just kind of review this because I if we wait till I think mid-May to register, it goes up to 750 a person, I think. Here, actually I have it right here. Here it is.
Yeah, we can meet next week to iron that out too, Jodan.
Okay. All right, because like I said, the sooner the better, and
Sign
yeah,
up.
I think that'd be cool. It looks like they have a lot of great workshops to go to, and like I said, I've never gone to a national where in my entire 20 years in education, never gone to, and I've been in charter schools my entire career. I went to a national conference on social and emotional learning, and I got to present, but that was because UNM paid for all my stuff to go and present on behalf of Castle, which was fun. It was an amazing time, and but it's not as big as the national charter school conference.
Hey,
That's a
Joe
big.
Dan, this is Patrick. I think it'd be a priority to try to send you out there and for as much work as you've done, an amazing amount. Every time we're done with board meetings, I am blown away at the amount of work and dedication you showed the school. So, um, with the renewal coming up, I think it's imperative that we send you. So,
Thank you.
uh, on kind of the same token there, when you get more information on that fellowship, shoot it over to me. Have to take a look at that. If we can find out a way to figure that out and help you achieve that as well. I mean, you've put so much work and effort into this school, and I don't think it would be a success without you, honestly. So, keep doing what you're doing, man. And I can't speak for the whole board, but I think that we have your back, and you've been an excellent leader at the school. So, I think we should have your back and try to promote your professionalism, your experience, your training as much as we can.
Thank you, Patrick, and thank you, Margie. I appreciate
Thank
your
you,
guys'
Patrick.
support.
Yeah, yeah, you
I
speak for
agree.
me, Patrick. Yes, I agree too. Yeah, if we have to have bake sales for you, I mean, we'll have to do that, right? After church on Sundays, we'll have a bake sale for you. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll keep you all posted, and I'll make sure that David stops in as well from time to time. I'll make sure that everything's done the right way. But I do appreciate the support. That means a lot to me. Um, we're still having regular meetings with the Hemis Department of Education. our lease and lease reimbursement. So I'm excited to announce that we've completed the lease agreement. It's been sent over to Dan Hill for review, and once that's given the green light, then we'll go ahead and submit that to the realty office. David, I'm still waiting to hear back from the governor's office for our tribal consultation, which is a requirement from the state. So if you see Mr. Galvon, if Governor Galvon out there or any of the other folks, maybe just give them a gentle nudge and say, "Hey, we're trying to get a meeting with you guys on multiple things." Yeah.
When when does it need to happen so I can go over there in person and visit them?
As soon as possible. I reached out. I have my email here. I
Yeah.
reached out to them on back in March. Let's see. I
Wow.
reached out to them on March 6th, so a little bit over a month now.
That's too
And
long.
and Lynn said, "Thank you for your email. We acknowledged your request to meet with the governors of the Pueblo of Jemez regarding tribal consultation. Your meeting request will be forwarded to our governors, and we will look at the calendar to schedule and respond with the date and time."
No, she does. To me, if that's a standard verbiage that they use, that means she hasn't even passed it over to them yet. So I think that David being on the tribal council, maybe you can get something set up because Lynn and Jamie are told to like are gatekeepers and they don't pass over information like that. So it's kind of sad.
Yeah. So that's it. I'm got the email there just so you guys can put your eyes on it.
And we
That's
wouldn't call it tribal consultation until we get in the room with them. It was like, hey, we'd like to meet with you at the Riverside to talk about a few things and have you look around, or we'd like to come to the governor's office and talk to you about a few things or whatever. And then boom, after we get together, I was like, okay, thank you for the tribal consultation. But when you hear consultation, they think all this other stuff are going to be requested of them and they
Mhm.
don't respond. So we're just like kind of like we want to meet you and talk over a few things is how you need to approach it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, any help, any support would be greatly
Yeah.
appreciated. And I may reach out to them next week, but I'll wait, David, until you give me the green light to do a follow-up email.
Yeah. I'll try to meet with them next 2, 3 days.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Let me
Yeah.
get back to here and I'll try to get everybody out of here at least by 8 o'clock. Uh, Demolition of buildings. They said it's gonna start in April. I have not heard back on whether they're gonna push it back, but they're expecting that most of our stuff is out of the both of those buildings. We've already started that process and I think we've got most of it out. So we're looking pretty good, but I did request that they didn't start that demolition until July. I do need to go and buy a tarp because they did send me an email asking if they wanted to demo the oven that's out there, and I said no. Why would we do that? So I'm gonna go and make sure that that oven is covered up and that none of that nasty dust from their demolition gets in there. Um, Let's see. So yeah, well, that's the tribal consultation stuff there as well. We already kind of talked about that. That's pretty critical getting towards the end of the school year because that is a requirement for being with some of our grants and for our BMEP and for our Indian education stuff that's going through there. Our charter renewal. I have a meeting. My first meeting is tomorrow with Dr. Russell on the process, stage one of the process, and what it's going to look like. So I'll get a little bit more information since this is going to be my first time going at a renewal and being the person leading a renewal. So it should be interesting. But they did say that our visit for that renewal will be sometime in September or October. Um, and then as far as facilities, this will be something that I'm going to keep rotating on this. Uh, we had a broken water line last week when we went on break. They went out and fixed it. They charged
Who
us about
fixed it?
600 bucks to go and go and fix that. And then that evening somebody ran it over and broke it again.
Oh my God.
So they went
Who
back,
fixed
put
it?
the waterworks there, the local Pueblo.
Oh, Public Works. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Public Works did. And so they put that on there. And then what happened was we ended up getting sand in the water lines and it took out all of our toilets and urinals. So I'll kind of jump around here. Yesterday I didn't get anything done that I needed to do because me and Dominic ended up taking apart every single toilet and urinal in the school
Oh my
and
God.
cleaning all of it out because of my estimates to get the parts replaced and hire somebody to do it would have been about $6,000 to $7,000.
No.
And I wanted to make sure that we weren't wasting any money that we didn't need to. So, me and Dominic took all those apart, took all the dirt and sand. It was terrible. It was horrible. And we've got about 85% of them up and running. Matter of fact, we only have two toilets in the boys' bathroom that are gonna probably need to be fixed by a professional, and one in the girls' bathroom. And we're gonna have to try to find a way to get to leach the water out so we can get more sand and dirt out of those water lines.
Oh
So
my God.
we've been playing with that for this entire week, and yesterday it just got to the point where I said I can't run a school with no toilets. So
Well,
me
I
and
wish we'd have known that because like maybe can you send somebody out there that could blow that sand out of there? Or you really had to do all that work or
I'm just trying to save the school some money. I mean that's the way
no,
I was
that's
taught,
like
and I feel like if there's something that I can't take on, then I'll go ahead and contract that out.
uh
But I will tell you this, if any of you have any industrial toilets or urinals and they're constantly running or they're not running at all, me and Dominic Toya are your guys.
oh
We
my
know how to
God.
work on those. I didn't before that, but I do now.
Okay, thanks for the info. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I
Joe
don't
Dan,
mind.
Margie?
Yes, ma'am.
so Public Works isn't able to do that kind of work, or are they still gonna charge us no matter what?
Oh, no, only any they only will only work on anything that happens outside of the school.
Let
Okay.
me relate to everybody about our lease reimbursement. This is Margie. I just want everyone to know that the state gives us money to pay the person who leases us the buildings, and that the agreement that we've always had since I've been there with the tribe is that the money goes to the pueblo. Like say it's per child. So one year, what did we get? Like $40,000 from lease reimbursement, and the tribe takes out 3%, processes the payment, and hands it back to us. And they hadn't been doing that for a few years. So they actually just started doing it again this year. Joe Dan picked up a check like last month or something like that for our lease reimbursement. What that lease reimbursement means is because we give you all the money back, then you have to take care of anything that goes wrong inside the school yourself, pay for it and all that. So we threatened them before because when we weren't getting that lease reimbursement, then we said, then you're our true landlords because you're keeping the lease money. Then you need to fix everything that goes wrong in our school. And then they started turning the money back over again after a couple of years. So anything outside of the school is Pueblo property. Anything inside the school, we have to take care of with our lease reimbursement money. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
All the fun stuff. Then we found out this morning they had a blown septic line right there where that request for right of way is. So they did come out there and fix that. I don't know what they're going to charge us or if they're going to charge us for that, but that water was constantly running. And I'm glad to see that stuff fixed. We also had a broken door on campus and the water room, so it's right between the bathrooms. There was no key to that. So I had them come out today and they fixed that broken door and they keyed that, and that was a West Mesa lock and key, and it was only $200. It was not bad to get those keys open, but we needed to make sure that the school was secure and no doors were broken. Where
Do you think that someone tried to break in over spring break or while we were
I
gone for
I do.
Christmas?
I do, and I think the reason why that door is open is because somebody who probably has a key was
Prop.
being really rough with that door, and it's none of our employees. I think it's a former employee that has not turned in their key and probably sent somebody else over there. But to destroy that door the way that it was destroyed, it definitely is something where people would just. I don't want to say that
Dang.
they were trying to like break in, like destroy it, but I don't think they were when they were doing it, they didn't really care, right? Like.
Well, we need to take a look at that and make sure that's where cameras come involved because that's not
So,
right.
Joe
so I went.
Dan, Joe Dan, that's not the first time it's happened already, right?
No, the thing is I don't have any evidence. And so with the board's discretion, I did mention that I have cameras to set up in the school, but Danielle told us in our meeting that we should get advisement or permission from the governors before we set up cameras.
No.
I'm
No.
I'm
No, no, we do
thinking
not. And I'll tell you why, because Walatoa has cameras set up and they have under Johnson controls for the last like 5 years. So no, that's not right.
I don't
That's
have
misinformation. Yeah.
we don't have the best technology. I got something that's, gonna last us at least a little bit. But what I'm thinking is, it's one of those situations where you ask for forgiveness instead of permission. So if they get mad, I just say, "Hey, sorry, I didn't know I was supposed to do this," right? Like I'm
Yeah.
kind of, but if the board's okay with that, I'll start setting them up tomorrow.
Please, because what if something bigger happens and we're
That
gonna be in regret and we don't want
that's how
to?
it's
Yeah, we
exactly how I
we do
feel.
need the cameras.
Okay. All right. I'll start setting those up. And then I'm really excited to announce that we got some new technology. Each classroom is now fitted with the best technology, which is the touchscreen T7 smart boards. I think they're like 72-inch screens.
I
David
saw
got
that.
to come and see them on hand. They are basically a giant tablet. We did have money for those because they came out of SB9. And it was just time to upgrade some technology in our classroom. So every classroom has those. Dominic inherited one of the old ones, so next year I'll look to getting another one for his room. But let's see, first has one, second, third has one, fourth, fifth has one. The math science room has one, and the language arts social studies has one. And the one that was in Jasmine's room, the fourth and fifth grade room, that I should say rather, that was still in really good shape. We moved that into the cafeteria for presentations.
Well, that makes me mad that you didn't tell us that we could have watched the NCAA over there.
We sure could have. And every one of those
Yeah,
class, you could have streamed every one of those classrooms too.
that would have been cool.
Well, Dan,
Yes,
yeah, I just wanted to tell the board I was in your classroom, remember a couple days ago?
yes, yes.
And those kids were having a blast. They're really, really learning and with all kinds of technology and math and everything like that. So I think that was a real good purchase.
I'm glad you came by and look, I gotta be honest. Once a teacher, always a teacher. That's kind of my sanctuary, and so it's extra work, but it's work that I enjoy doing, and so it's really not work. I enjoy being in there with those kiddos, and it keeps me grounded on why I do this work every day. And so Patrick knows he was a great classroom teacher and support as well, and it's great to be able to be in there and have fun with your kids, and
Yeah,
and to teach them. So I'm glad to be back in that sense.
great.
I'm going to come back to the calendar and I'm just going to remind you all the executive director principal evaluation is going to come up in May. You might want to reach out to Diego and Teresa on support on development. What I'll do is I'll just send 3 goals to David and Margie and just let you know on 3 of the things that I know we vaguely talked about it when we first started the school year. A lot of it, one is going to be finance, the other one is academic. And the other one was actually going to be facilities, which is, am I able to save some money for the school by doing things that we can just take care of in-house, I hate being at schools where other people just go and contract out for every little thing. And it's like, well, wait a minute. We have people here on the campus that are talented and can do this stuff ourselves, which is why me and Dominic jumped in there. I said, well, look, I don't know what this looks like, but I've worked on a toilet before. And so I said, if it's broke, it's broke. I can't break it anymore. And luckily, we were able to clean all that stuff out. So I'll just send you my 3 essential goals, and then of course the board will probably need to evaluate me on a couple of different other criteria. Which goes to the recruitment for new board members. Obviously, Susan has announced her departure, and then you still have one seat open. So I think this is a great opportunity for the board to bring in two more members. So think about maybe in our next board meeting having a discussion on. You don't have to bring it to the board meeting. What you can do is make recommendations, have 1 or 2 of your board members meet with those people, vet them, ask questions, and then bring them back to the board, introduce them, and tell them that they're up for consideration. I wouldn't put too many feelers out there and I would stray away from trying to find folks who are, I don't mean this the wrong way. Parents like to be involved, and we have some parents on the board, but I think those positions are filled with the board. I think the best thing you can do is try to recruit people who can be assets and allies for us moving into the next few years, especially this recharter. Again, recommendations might include anybody in the governor's office or anybody who's sitting with a position of power, if I might say. You know, any of those folks. You might even reach across to Walatoa. I know Jensen's on Walatoa's board. It might be a great opportunity to bring somebody from Walatoa Charter to sit on our board. Anybody from the health department. Patrick, wink, wink. I know April is busy, but hey, it'd be cool to have a, husband-wife duo on the board. But this would be a great opportunity for you guys to have that discussion.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, very good, sir. Thank
Well,
you.
Kendall,
she might
you
he might
join
have to
the
bring April
board.
when he becomes a teacher.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I can't bring Patrick out there because you know what's going to happen is
Alberto to join.
Roger's going to go and take him from me. I know how Roger
Roger,
works.
huh?
Yeah, in
Okay.
fact, yeah, I've been talking to that guy all day, so I'm trying not to get back into uniform. I'd rather get back into the classroom, honestly.
Oh, well, we might have another board position open. You better be careful what you wish for, Patrick.
Yeah.
Hey, we could carry that conversation on. I want to stay true to stay
No,
true to
not
time,
bad.
but really quick, any questions or concerns on this?
Real quick, the
Yeah,
calendar, are we going to go over it at another time? LaDonna,
uh-huh.
I think your mic is on, LaDonna. Are we going to go over the calendar later on or the next meeting or because I
I'd
need
like
to
to
see the
just
calendar.
Yeah, I'd like to just show you real quickly what we've got drafted up. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time, but I want you to see it because we're probably going to need to approve. We are going to need to approve this by May's meeting. And Greg, do, do we need to have it sooner than May's board meeting? I think that's appropriate to approve it in May's meeting, right?
Yeah, should be fine with approving in May's meeting.
Okay. Let me just kind of show you. There's essentially three calendars, but I'm going to show you the one that I think we're going to have to go with and give you the rationale on why, okay? Um, Calendar number one is would have been the same calendar we had this year, which was 191 days. Nothing changes, but the thing is we don't get any extra funding beyond that because we get funded the same way we got this year, just with that little increase that really won't make a big dent for us. And so that would have been option one, which is basically keeping everything the same. Option two is not really an option, which is going backwards and taking days off the calendar, which will just shoot us in the foot for funding and make us look really bad in front of the PEC, trying to defend a charter whenever we took days off the calendar. So option three is what I have for you, and I think this is the most realistic one. I'm not the biggest fan, and I know certain teachers are not going to like this. I do unveil this and get input from staff tomorrow in our staff meeting. But what we're doing with this calendar is it's exactly the same as this year's. The only difference is we are starting 5 days early and we are adding that 5 days onto our extra calendar, which gives us 201 days of instructional time. This will make us look good in the Public Education Commission as far as saying that the calendar last this year wasn't enough for instructional time, and adding those days shows them that we're serious about our kids' education and giving them that extra time in the classroom. Um, our first day of school would be August the 3rd, and our last day of school would be June the 4th. That means teacher in service would be the last week of July, and everything else stays the same. I have a couple of things marked down here. So let's see here. October 12th is the
Indigenous
Indigenous
Day.
Peoples Day. November 4th, keep in mind that's a public education department mandate now. Election days are now a holiday, so we have
Mm.
to take those off. Um, the
When did that
11th,
start? Did that just start recently?
this
Because
school
I've
year, yeah.
never seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, this school year.
Mm.
That's why we had the this election day off this school year. Um, November 11th is Veterans Day. November 12th, I had marked down as a tribal event because I think you guys had a celebration around that time.
That's our biggest feast day.
Okay, so I got it right. I was just kind of going off of this calendar to try to model this. It's a long school year. I'm not gonna lie. It's a very long school year. We have 18th, which is Martin Luther King Day. We have the 15th of February, which is President's Day. This year I tried to align spring break again with Easter
Yes.
because Easter falls on the 28th of March.
Right.
Therefore, our spring break would be pushed up to the 25th, the 26th, and the 29th, keeping those 3 days off.
Yeah.
Then we pretty much go the entire month of April and almost the entire month of May, minus the 31st, which would be Memorial Day. And then again, our last day of school would be the 4th.
I think you could sign up on it. I think I just need to look into the November 4th election day because I honestly believe that the only schools that close are the ones that have the voting polls in them.
I have the directive from public education from the secretary, and I'll pull that up for you right now. That's under calendars, and it remained the same. So for the guidance for calendars, I believe it's on this one. Let me go ahead and share this so you can see the
Because the tribe closes on November 2nd, that they don't take Indigenous Peoples Day on the October 12th, but they take November 2nd for All Saints Day, All Souls Day that weekend.
and we can move that day if you want to. So let's see, here's the required holiday. Required holidays. Every general election and regular local election shall be a school holiday for students and staff at each public school in the state.
Thank you, because I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that was brand new, and I know we had this conversation for this school year about this. This is what they give us for guidance for school calendar, and I have to abide by that. Otherwise, I'd be taking that off and moving it to an extra day for spring break. But yeah, that's their new rule that they put in, and it stayed the same for this year. And then keep in mind for the remote learning, I know that there was concern with the calendar on the first few days of January when we come back. That's where we'll utilize our 4 remote days. So schools can have no more than 4 remote learning days each year, not exceeding 32 hours. At least half of the day must be live lessons. So that's going to be a big one for us. That means that our teachers don't really have the day off. It's a day where the kids will have to be logged in online. I'm going to get some guidance on whether we can consider those tribal events, that if they show up to those events, that's their learning experience. I think they'll okay that, but I just want to make sure, again, going into the renewal, I'm not trying to play around with anything or second guess anything. I want to make sure I get the correct information.
Mm-hmm. Can you send us the calendar so we can look at it too to the board?
Yes, I'll send that out tomorrow or here in a little bit, just so you guys can review and have any questions. You can send me before our next meeting, because that will be an agenda item for May, which is approving the calendar.
Thank you.
And I think that's my report. Let me just double check. Yep. That's my report. I appreciate you all sticking with me. I went overtime again. I'm sorry, but I know a lot of stuff that we have to take care of here is super important. So appreciate you guys sticking with me. And yeah, we still need to set up the emails. They're set up. Jensen's got to contact you guys because this will be a lot easier, so we can coordinate all of our calendars together, and you'll get the Google invites, and everything will be in one stop shop for all the information. But I'm gonna go ahead and go back and turn it over for our next item, which is announcements.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for the report. And at this point, I just want to echo what Mr. Seguro had told you about doing an outstanding job here at the school. I've been down there several times, and you know, just by looking at the kids are happy, the kids are learning, the kids are well behaved. So you've done a great job, and also to the teachers that are down there, they're really passionate and real true educators. So thank you for doing a good job. Thank you for choosing Riverside. I still need to buy you a purple jacket.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got some ideas for that too. I'll keep you guys posted for Teacher Appreciation Week, which is, and I had it on there and I took it off.
It's the first week in May, right?
Think it's the first week in May that we marked off. I actually have it on my. So now you get to see my calendar. So now you can see the mayhem.
Oh,
So let's see. We'll move through here. Yes, Teacher Appreciation Week is the 4th through the 8th. And we'd like to get everybody some cool swag. So, um, Angie said that we probably have enough to do what we wanted to do. I would rather, and this is just me, if it came down to either me going to New Orleans or buying our teacher swag, I'd rather get our teacher swag.
I think we can do both. I'm sure we can do both. Yeah.
Well, we'll meet about that part too next week. See what we can do to see if we can try and make both happen.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you,
make it
Greg.
happen.
Mhm. I know you're magical, Greg. You can do it.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
All right. Well, what was it? Announcements? The next meeting is May 14th.
May 14th, 2026. Also, when is graduation for Riverside?
Oh,
Great.
yes. 8th grade graduation, kindergarten graduation.
Yes, our graduation is scheduled for May the 30th.
May 30th. Okay,
Yes, I don't have it on here, but it is scheduled for May 30th. Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so that was the announcement. And going to number 9, meeting adjournment. We need someone to make a recommendation to adjourn the meeting.
This is Margie, and I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting at 8:17 p.m.
Okay, great. And just for the record, Patrick, do you approve?
Yes, I approve.
Margie Creel,
I approve.
LaDonna, Sandal,
I approve.
thank you. Susan Baca,
I approve.
thank you very much. And this is David. I approve to adjourn the meeting that at this time. Thank you everybody for your time and all your good words, all the things that you do for the kids here at Riverside.
Hey,
And one
thank
more,
you all,
Thank
Susan.
you.
Thank you for
thank
your
you. Yeah.
service, Susan.
I want to
You're
thank Susan.
welcome.
She's been with me on the school board for over a decade, so I really appreciate your help, Susan, through everything. Thank you so
Yes,
much. When you come to
yes,
town, we'll have to take you out to dinner.
Yeah.
yes. I'll be coming soon.
Let us know, please. I owe you a great depth of deal of gratitude as well, and thank you for changing so many lives. It's hard being on a board. I learned that whenever I joined my first one, and it's even though it's one meeting, it's not taken lightly. So again, your service is not unnoticed. Thank you for everything you've done for your community and for these kiddos.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much
Appreciate it.
Thank
love.
you, Susan. We accept your resignation.
No.
I,
Margie, can you stay on for just a second?
I can stay.
I saw Sadie's on there somewhere.
Yeah.
That was Greg's idea to go